What's going on, y'all? So I wanted to make this video. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing this either bi-weekly or monthly. Videos reflecting on some of the word and lessons that I have learned over these last couple of days to weeks of this new journey of refining my faith with God and the lessons that I've been learning along the way. There's three of them that I have here that I wanted to not only share with you guys, but also to kind of have a video to look back on when times get tough, to reflect on some of the words that I've been taking in over the last couple of days. What I've been doing is that I've been going through the Sabbath school lesson books and reflection books that are infused with the word and different Bible verses and different stories in the Bible to kind of have something like a point of reference to check on as I'm reading through these things to kind of like reestablish my connection with him. And so far, it's been a pretty good experience. And it has really showed me how poor my lack of effort was in terms of refining my faith with God. And all those times that I told myself and made up excuses, honestly, to not read the Bible, to not read these stories, to not try to build this connection with him. It was really just a big excuse for myself, and I was really just doing a disservice for myself. So I wanted to share you guys these three things that I've learned over these last couple of days and in this journey of finding this faith with him. And I hope it's something that you guys take away from and hopefully can apply to your own lives. One of the first themes that I found over the last couple of days of refining my connection with him and reading these scripture texts is the theme of forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is really hard for me. I tend to hold grudges. It's something that I've learned about myself that I have been trying to work on. And it's almost easier to hold that grudge as opposed to letting go. And I don't know if it's a pride thing or just a I don't want to be a disrespected thing, but forgiving people was always harder for me. And sometimes I feel that letting go of that whatever it was that I was upset with, it felt like I was giving up a part of me and almost letting go. Or sometimes I felt like, what am I trying to say? I feel like I'm trying to hold on to it because it allows me to be me or to strengthen or harden me to build that hard, tough exterior that I thought I needed to get through life. And some of these people that I have forgiven over these last couple of days, or some of the things that I realized that I was holding on as a grudge, I was trying to look back and think about why was I actually truly upset about it? Did I have a certain reason why? Was there something specific about that situation that really upset me as to why I'm holding that grudge for so long? And it's so funny, the longer that you hold grudges, the worse it is trying to remember what you're actually upset about. And it really just showed me that holding on to grudges and holding up to these things and not just forgiving and moving on is really just affecting me and no one else. And there's no use in me trying to hold on to these things if I can't even remember the reason why I was even upset. And it's almost like a load off my back when I've been able to kind of move past these things. There's still some things that I feel like it's really hard for me to let go, but I'm starting to recognize how much of a disservice I am doing to myself by not forgiving letting go. And one of the stories in the scriptures were really referring to how, even though we as humans have sinned against God, he does not hold that grudge against us and instead sent his one and only begotten son to, die for our sins. So if he's able to do that, why am I still holding on to these grudges? Why am I still holding up to this anger? It's really no use for me to be doing that. So it's one of the lessons that I'm learning to apply to my life and really realizing that holding grudges is really not doing anything but affecting me and my mental health. The second lesson that I learned was no struggle is too big for the Lord. Now, for me specifically, I always felt like I needed to take on the toughest challenges. And with doing that, I take on a lot of stress. And I always feel like I have to just push through that stress, push through that stress, push through that struggle. And I have a hard time leaning on other people. And I've always kind of just felt like I just can only depend on myself. And the reason why that is, I don't know exactly why. I have a beautiful support system, a beautiful family, a strong family network, a whole tribe of people behind me. But throughout my life, I can't think of too many times where I've solely relied on other people. I don't know if it's because I am the oldest sibling in my family and it feels weird for me to look to my younger siblings for advice and for consolation or counsel on anything. So I feel that because I don't have that person I can look up to, and it was always like a big thing for me to go to my parents to ask them about specific things, I felt like I just needed to get through those things on my own and that no one else would understand the thing that I was going through, understand the struggle that I was going through, and that I would just have to persevere and push through it myself. And, reading through these scriptures, it really showed me how mistaken I was and that no struggle is big enough for God. He can handle anything that I lay at his feet. And one thing that I've been doing to try to kind of alleviate this mentality is I've been really just praying every single morning and praying to him to not only just, bless the day and start the day off right, but also give to him some of the struggles that I may be dealing with right at the beginning of the day. And doing that, I felt like this shift in mentality as, I'm actually, instead of carrying this guilt, carrying this struggle, carrying this pain throughout the day, giving it up to him at the beginning of the day and allowing that to be a load off my back and allowing him to handle it as well. I realized that I don't need to have this mentality of just pushing through, pushing through, pushing through, not taking breaks, pushing through and hoping that I get through it. And doing that has a wearing effect on the mind. And for me, it has contributed towards a lot of feelings of burnout in my personal life, in my professional life, in all aspects of my life, in my spiritual life. I feel like I've been burnt out of my spiritual life years ago. And I'm happy that I'm taking the steps to refine the steps back to my spiritual life. But it's one thing that I've been dealing with is asking for help. And who else but God to ask for help? So that's something that I implore to you guys as well. If there's something that's weighing on your mind, if there's something that you're struggling with, if there's something that you feel like other people can't understand, God understands. Pray to him, talk to him. He's one of your best friends. He's there for you at any time. He's always been there for you. And even though that's something that I forgot for a long time, a long period of my life, and me not reaching out to him not me not reaching to pray to him, he is still there. And I've really come to learn that he's not going to judge me for being gone for so long. And I really just want to put in the time and effort into giving him my struggles instead of feeling like I need to carry this cross on my own on my back. Another thing that I realized that kind of ties into this whole path that I've been back on to refinding my connection with God is God isn't measuring the amount of faith and belief that you have in him to deem how worthy you are of his love. One of the things that I was reading in the Bible and these Bible passages and Sabbath school passages is that God is just waiting for you to come for him. And if you are willing to believe in him, he is willing to give you his love. The love is always there and he's always willing to give it to you, but it's really on me on how I accept that love. If I reciprocate that love of his is unconditional and never will never go away. But In order for me to find that love or to feel that love or to experience that love, I need to actually open myself to him to actually take that love in. And no matter how long I've been gone from him, stepped away from him, he is still there for me. And it's really consoling the fact that he is willing to take me back despite me straying away for so long. One of the stories was the prodigal son, and the portion where the father sees his son in the distance coming back yearning for him, and the son, or actually the father, runs out to him and throws a celebration. God is the father in that story, and we are the son in that story. We thought that we had it all figured out. We tried to step away, and when things didn't work out the way that we thought it would, and we tried to come back to him, not only did he not judge us, but he also ran to us with open arms and celebrated us coming back. And I'm so happy that I'm on this path back to him. I'm still struggling in this and still trying to find the strength to continue on this journey, but this is something that I am dedicated towards, and I'm glad that I'm being consistent with this. I haven't been this consistent with keeping up my faith in him in so long, and I'm just happy that I have taken these steps. Now, if you guys are also on this journey of refining your faith with him, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and comment on videos like this. I'm going to be trying to upload a video like this either bi-weekly or monthly in terms of, tracking and kind of following along with this journey of refinding him. I'm not the best Christian. I'm not the perfect example of someone that's trying to refine their faith, but who really is, honestly? We're all on different paths on this journey to finding faith with him. And I hope to find others like myself that are yearning for that connection with him, because no matter how far we stray away from him, that love is really still there. And I'm ready to accept that love of his. I hope to share more lessons throughout this journey of what I read in these lessons. I'm trying to keep them in a notebook to try to express to you guys. Maybe in the future, I can have more specific verses and put them on the screen so you guys can actually reflect with me and you guys can maybe read the stories to where I'm finding these lessons. But it's something that I am pretty happy that I'm doing, and I hope you guys will join me as well. So I'll see you guys later. Peace. Have a nice day, and God bless.